Hi, Leos, and welcome to your August 2021 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky coming on today to talk to you in your season about the month ahead of August. I hope you guys are doing really well today. I love coming on in Leo season because it's very energetic. It is a time of recharging, of rejuvenating. If you can imagine, collectively, we all come through Cancer season, and it's kind of like the low battery sign or notification pops up, and here we are in Leo season, getting a bit of a charge up and getting some great healing coming in if we would like it. So I'm feeling that this is a potently healing month for you, Leo. And let's talk and focus in this reading about how you can use your season this year to embrace a new level of healing. So starting with intuitive messages for the month, I love that the sun has come up in your reading along with the Nine of Pentacles and the World. Those three cards together say to me that you are entering into a new level of prosperity and abundance. So all Leos have the capability in August to change the game, to change their life's prosperity, to alter their long-term trajectory. And I bet that you're already getting flashes of it. So I'm seeing Leo people starting to get flashes of how it can all work. And maybe it's quite contrasting to what you currently have. Like you might see that the way that you've built everything up, or the way that you have engaged many aspects of your life, is of a previous season, or does not maybe totally match who you are now. And I'm seeing Leos no longer being threatened by that. And that's the cool thing that's coming in this month for Leo, is it's no longer like freaking you out that, whoa, this goal that I achieved is no longer really what I want. Now there's hope in it. Now there's a new maybe abundance or promotion or source of energy in your life that gives you enough energy to comprehend how you can kind of springboard off of what you currently have and really create and overcome previous hurdles that prevented you from making this all come together. So there's a coming together this month. There's a merging. There is a conception, I think, happening very easy to conceive anything this month. So you could conceive new ideas. Also very easy to also have children as well. If you or someone you know is expecting, there could be an announcement of like pregnancy, or an announcement of some type of conception, the announcement of a new business, the announcement of a new relationship, the announcement of a new marriage, divorce, anything that is signaling a very strong change in life chapter. And I would say September is going to really see the physical change, but August is seeing the conceptual change, okay? So conceptual changes, that might be what I title your reading, because that's what I'm feeling this month is for you. And for some Leos, especially if you've got like a lot of Sagittarius in your chart, or even a lot of Taurus, okay, Aquarius as well, you can already start to see the physical changes now, and maybe even in late July, but maybe the result of it, or the what it actually gives you, may not be with you until September, but you might know it's coming. You might know that that change is coming on. But ultimately, just way more energy, okay? You guys are able to do more now. You might get a really good report from the doctor. You might get a really good report from blood work. You might get a really shining, glowing review or testimonial, or even knowing that your reputation has increased, or hearing very good things, like people are talking really positively about you behind your back. This also can come with jealousy, though, although I feel this is such a small part of your life at this point in time. Like, even if it exists, you're just not that concerned about it, because it feels like you're really having an elevation. So to a degree, you don't have to worry that much about it, but ultimately it feels like there is a positive shift in reputation, and a positive shift in energy, a positive shift in finance, a positive shift in goals, a positive shift in changes, a positive shift in the ability to have clarity. Okay, it's just a positive shift. It's a shift towards abundance. So congratulations, Leo. Happy birthday to those of you aging up. Let's talk a little bit about your week to week. I mean, we're moving quickly, but it's just, there's no reason to dig for negativity where I'm not seeing it. I mean, there's a few things that we can talk about. We can talk about the Three of Swords, the Hanged Man, Seven of Swords, Seven of Wands, sorry, reversed when we get there. But I'm not, these to me feel like very peripheral things that even like other people in your life might be going through, and it's not really your problem, but it's kind of in orbit, okay? But yes, let's talk about the week to week. So week number 1, Leos, you have the World rooted down by 9 of Pentacles. So change in fortune. All right, change in position. Some of you have passive income now. Some of you have something that, or it might not even have to do with money at all. It might just be comfort and knowing that where you live or the choices that you've made support you rather than being something that take from you. So I want to really distinguish for Leos because this feels to be such an important life lesson for Leos here in August of 2021 is what is a choice or a location or a goal that holds me kind of like pearl in the oyster, and what is then one that maybe puts a lot of people onto my path who need something from me, who I'm having to support, who I'm having to feel subservient to. This distinguishing and distinction is very, very vital to Leo overcoming some of these older hurdles now. And that is also a part of Leo karma, okay? So the preceding sign to Leo is Cancer, which is sort of where you see the pearl in the oyster archetype. It's where you see the feeling of safety, the feeling of, being in that shell, being protected. And then Leo is actually, as it's the sign that comes after Cancer, is about coming out of that shell and expressing. And that can be kind of good or bad depending on the setting, okay? So the protective measure of Cancer is to protect, that hard shell is to protect from danger. So Leo has to know when to express and when not to express, and that's sort of then also what Virgo, the sign after Leo, learns is about that that discernment, that detail-oriented parameter comprehending energy to know when and when not to do certain things. So Leo's right between those two things, right between that detail orientation and then that need for protection. So it's kind of a crazy energy, Leo in and of itself. It's like, that's why it rules over performers, it rules over leaders, it rules over actors or people who are very visible in public, because it is the first expression from that period of safety. So that's just a kind of a stream of consciousness. You're really in your nature in that expressive mode in the first week of August. And I think that it gives you so much. If it's not an expression, it's an impression. Okay, so you might be getting an impression of someone. You might be getting an impressive, portfolio of events in your life. Like maybe you're an artist and you have like a great portfolio at this point in time, or like an investor who has a great portfolio. There's something about portfolios coming up in the first week of August. Okay, so whatever that means to you. It could also be like scrapbooks or visual representations of what experiences or what choices you've made. That can be very helpful, like making your timeline. Okay, in the first week of August, understanding like what the previous 5 to 7 years have been through a timeline, and then maybe mapping out the next 2 years based on what you think of that momentum. And you might feel a lot more prosperous than you did going into it by understanding your time a little bit more. But overall, beautiful, beautiful first week. Congratulations to those of you aging up in the first week of August, because that looks also like a great time for birthday celebrations or for gifts or for vacations, getaways, being near the water, anything like that. But I will say, something wraps up in the first week of August. There is a way of living or a way of experiencing that ends. And I think that what you're moving into is by default more prosperous, with 9 of Pentacles rooting it down. So it might be the ending of a poverty chapter, the ending of not feeling secure, the ending of insecurity. Week 2, you've got the 3 of Swords rooted down by the Sun. So yes, you've got to heal your heart now. Okay, second week of August, these old wounds, these old fears, these old grievances have to meet the sun, have to be healed. It's great to be in the sun, even like and I wouldn't usually recommend this, but like anything that gets you into the light, even like tanning beds or something very temporarily, just to, get some of this dark, damp energy, especially if you've got a lot of water in your chart, a lot of Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer energy. You might want to take that out into the open, or even tell somebody like what you've been through, or get some stuff out. Like, you don't want things to stagnate inside, basically, with this energy. There's an indication that the dark secrets or the dark difficult aspects in that you're feeling in your heart, like deep things that have hurt. Like you might tell a secret at that time, or you might understand something that you didn't know, or you could even like let yourself in on something that you didn't even know, like, wow, I am just forcing myself into stagnation and I didn't even know it. I thought I was doing it for the sake of security. I thought I was staying in that place, in that job, in that role for security, but actually I had a desire to just have complete stillness in my life. And now I do think things are being shaken up for Leo. So the sun rooting down Three of Swords is about enlightenment. It's about making that which feels dark or imperceptible or unhealable in your life. It's about accepting that that's not the case. It's about accepting that you can heal from these events. So week 3, you've got the Seven of Wands reversed, rooted down by the Magician reversed. And that is where there is like a kind of I'm thinking like, what's it called? Like grinding of teeth or like clenched jaw. Like there's a sort of a, what am I doing? Like there's like a, how do I adjust to living in such prosperity for some of you? Like, I'm not kidding. Large percentage of Leo, a lot of this tension or a lot of this fear is from an elevation or from literally having to step up to the plate so intensely that you might be concerned about things that you've just never been concerned about. Like part of you's like, can I really do this? Can I really take on this program? Can I really take on this goal? Do I really have the Magician reversed also deals with lies, okay? We have to talk about that a little bit. The Magician reversed deals with illusion. It deals with lying. It deals with being lied to as well. So you have to have X-ray vision at this time. Being around Scorpios is really good. Being around people who know the truth about things. Being around people who understand the tact of seeing truth and not being deceived. So it depends on what side of it you're on. Like, if you do feel that maybe someone close to you has lied or deceived you, and it doesn't mean that that's the case, like you would already know it coming to this video. Like, don't let a tarot reading make you worry about things like that if you didn't already have that concern. But if that has been something that's come in here, I would really rise above that, because here's the thing, like this sort of like lying deception thing is a very 2D low experience to be involved in, and it's always a sign that there's a struggle to have health, or there's a struggle to vibrate at a high level. Because when we're healthy, when we're vibrating at a high level, there's no need for deceptions. There's no need for any of that stuff. In fact, it is usually unsuccessful when we're at a higher vibrational level. It's interesting. So if that's in your life, like even if you're feeling the need to maybe even like, I don't know, maybe you feel like you're afraid to tell people the truth, or maybe if you've come from a previous past trauma and maybe you're starting a new relationship and they're like, well, what have you been through? And you don't want to tell people. There's something along those lines that I'm feeling from Leo as well, where it could even be coming from you. Like maybe you just don't want to talk about the past. Maybe you just don't really want to rehash these old things, and you'd rather almost just say that something else happened when it didn't. So we've got to be careful for that. Like, I think that you have to have it. I think that you have to not hide from the past. I think that it's really important for Leo to stand in honesty and to stand in integrity, even if some of these stories are hard. You have control over how like in depth you go. You know, you don't have to tell people all of this stuff. Like you can also say, you know what's a really fun, truthful thing to say is, you know, I'm not really wanting to talk about that right now. Like, you know, I'm not really in the space where I need to rehash these things anymore. That's a better than kind of, you know, white lies or saying other things that are not true. So it's better to be blunt and to even be like, to refuse things than it is to deceive while giving people what they've asked for. I don't know if that means anything to some of you, but I do think that with this elevation, there's a test of honesty and integrity here, and a test of like, are you afraid of your own experiences? Are you afraid of your own, philosophy around truth? Okay. With Seven of Wands reversed, it's like you might have a lot of people like inquiring, like a lot of people like, wow, how did you get so prosperous? Like, what did you do to have that house? Like, what did you do to do so well on like the stock market? What did you do, Leo, to marry that person? And then when you get asked awkward questions like that, and you maybe don't feel like rehashing it, or you don't even know how it happened either, you can just, I don't know, it's good food for thought maybe at the beginning of the month to think about like how you respond to these types of questions and how that can be honest but also not betraying of like where you want to be energetically, because when we have to go back, when we have to rehash, when we have to relive trauma, sometimes that can put us back there, and I don't feel like that's what you need this month either. So it's kind of like, I guess it's up to Leo people to understand how they can talk about where they've been while maintaining this new high vibration. So week 4, you've got the Hanged Man rooted down by Ace of Swords reversed. Okay, so you are contemplative, you are strategizing in the 4th week, you are looking for that new idea, but maybe it's just not quite there. Like you're like, what's my timing, what's my where am I at here, like how do I really project myself? And I think that that just has to be okay. I'm not saying to make yourself smaller, I'm not saying to dumb things down at all, but it might be good just to kind of wear some more neutral colors, or to just kind of show up, just kind of be there for these things instead of having to like really make huge impressions, unless that happens naturally. Okay, unless it happens naturally, you have to be careful in this paradigm about being really erratic with your energy and really wild. Like there's a very nice, easy trajectory for those who can kind of just show up and be effective and be present and be healthy in a situation that seems to be the safest way through this time. So to be more clear, not being able to show up for class, for example, or for a work shift is very damaging in this paradigm. Also, showing up and being way overbearing or way erratic or way too involved is equally as difficult. We have to very much understand that middle ground at this point. Those who are balanced, those who are not in the waves of polarity, and who have allowed enough tranquility to come in their lives to exhibit and express that balance, are the people who really thrive and elevate at this time. So that's good food for thought, Leo. Where is that balance for you? Let's talk more about that in your extended reading. That'll be on Patreon and linked below in this description box of this video. I'll try to put it in a pinned comment as well. Be sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button if you're new. Turn on those bell notifications, and comment on the video as well, and let me know how this month leading up to it is going for you. And happy Leo season. I so appreciate you guys being on the channel, and I hope that it's really a wonderful time. It looks magnificent. I think this solar return this year for you is going to really work some wonders for you guys. So anyway, let's talk more about balance and how you can express in a way that's both fulfilling and helpful to your current elevation on Patreon in the extended. You can click the center of your screen and it'll be below. Much love, Leos. Have a great month ahead. Bye.